So now, after Area crashes and returns, we have the second half of the team battle. DS still has 2 fighters left, whereas RS still has 3. First up is Zane versus NeoBuster. And NeoBuster is, of course, using his Narukami, and Zane is using Aquaforce. From here on out, it's all going to be decks that you already know and recognize. So, in NeoBuster's match, he was able to defeat Yalta in the second round. In the first round, Blood Edge fought Zane, and Blood Edge had too many grade 3s to defend himself. And as far as I am aware, Zane and NeoBuster do have history of having card fights with one another, close ones at that. And NeoBuster does have the ability to defeat Zane in a match if he needs to. If things go well for him, at least. Zane is attacking first, and Neo isn't guarding it. Drive check is first turn critical. And no triggers for Neo on the damage check. Gets a perfect guard and a Chatra. In the damage, though, those are really good cards that, well, the perfect guard you'd want in his hand, Chatra you'd want on the field, neither of which help him where they are now. Ride Stormbringer Dragon, his answer to misrides, or his way to make sure that he doesn't get any, if at all possible. He called Threatening Brawler Kome, which its ability could have activated, but he chose not to do that. Zane gets criticaled in response to the critical from before, and he also loses a perfect guard. Using Stormbringer's ability, he gets a grade 3, so if he needed one, he's got Crimson now. And now, Koken does gain 3,000 because there are no units in the front row. So now the damage is 4-2 early on. Zane maintaining all the hand from the fact that he didn't guard anything. Didn't get any triggers either, though. And he is going in. Starts off with 11k to the Vanguard. Flips the perfect guard, so if he heals, he can put that back. NeoBuster gets a draw trigger. Nikki was meant to hit the Komen from the start, so that doesn't change that. The Vanguard goes for the rear because he can't hit the Vanguard without a 1 pass. And with Zane's tactics, he'd usually want to put the trigger onto the rear. NeoBuster decides to guard his rear. And there's a draw trigger. So that means that Tidal Assault is able to hit the Vanguard with this attack. Zane gets a draw for it. The attack afterwards won't hit, though. So if he wants to attack the Vanguard and get the draw, it won't hit, which is what he does. He could have also opted to attack the rear guard just to get it out the way and not drawn, but he'd rather draw. NeoBuster rides Dragonic Kaiser Crimson. Kept the advantage in terms of damage, and has to put more units onto his field in order to get that back. Attacks with Koken first. 9k to 9k, guarded with a draw trigger. And now Crimson goes in, no pass, because Zane is at 4 damage. One critical would end it. And if NeoBuster happened to double trigger and one is a critical, then that would end it too. So NeoBuster does get the critical that Zane was afraid of, which means Zane has to guard this. Drops another unit for it. Now Zane rides, brings out Tetra Drive Dragon, and he is activating his stride, discarding Transcore. He could have rode Transcore first if he really felt like he could survive long enough to get the break right off, but he opts not to do that. Probably showing that NeoBuster is in fact giving him a good run for his money. So the first attack is 11k. NeoBuster takes it. I hope he has a plan to guard the Vanguard if he's doing that. And he perfect guards it. Heal trigger. Heal will work. Second one is grade 3, and third one NeoBuster doesn't have to guard, but if I was him I'd intercept. He does not intercept. This is only 9k, which means he can hit the rear. If I was NeoBuster, I would have intercepted so I could save the unit in hand. So for the sake of calling it to rear guard later. Not only that, but he would have gained the ability to... what would you call it? He would have gained the ability to call it to rear, or just save his hand. He could have had one more card as resource compared to what he has now. He activates Legion, brings out Dragonic Kaiser Vermilion. Limit Break is activated, Kaiser Crimson being the only unit in the game to be a Legion with a Limit Break skill. And his Limit Break skill is to allow Dragonic Kaiser Vermilion to activate its Limit Break skill without any cost. I'm pretty sure its ability to allow Limit Break was only put in the way it is as a Limit Break so that no one tries to use it early, like before 4 damage, saying, well, we don't have to worry about the cost, so we don't have to worry about conditions either. Zane loses his entire field, not something Aquaforce likes to have happen. And now Neo Twin Drives. Mighty Bolt. And Rising Phoenix. No triggers. Both grade 1, so they can't help his guard. And because Zane didn't trigger, these do hit. Unless Zane is prepared to guard. Drops a draw trigger for it. And the second one is going to be allowed to hit. Gets a perfect guard out of the deck. Zane has 5 cards in hand, but he has 5 empty guard circles. If he wants to stride, and he is, he drops a card, and apparently His draw gave him the one card he needed to turn this around. And it looks like he's bringing out Lambros. So it's safe to confirm that he has 4 battles. Now we just have to decide if he has 4 battles that can hit. Drops his entire hand. First attack is 9k at the rear guard, which means the Tidal Assault upon the Lambros restand is going to get the ability to attack twice. 18k to Vanguard. NeoBuster has guard, drops it. And Zane can counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Restand Tetra Drive, but it does lose 5k, so it won't hit. And now Lambros' turn. If NeoBuster can get a trigger on this drive check, it could actually give him the ability to guard for both attacks. If he doesn't, he might have to take 2 damage. Because Lambros can actually attack twice. So now Zane's triple check. Draw trigger, already a problem. And forget everything I said because I forgot the draw trigger hadn't been used as a boost yet. So now, NeoBuster has to start healing if he wants to come back from this. NeoBuster knows he has to 6 heal to survive, but he can't do it. So that's the match. Zane takes this one and I'm up next. Good games.